listing off a series of statements. If you have done or relate to these statements, please step forward.
Step forward if you have ever held a gun. Step back.
Step forward if you have ever shot a gun. Step back.
Step forward if you have ever attended a funeral around someone your age. Step back.
Step forward if you think there should be less guns in the world. Step back.
Step forward if you think the world could use more guns.
Shooter in the hallway, get in the corner, quick, quick.
That's not an easy sound to forget, but it is the sound that changed my life. Did you know that between 1980 and 2012, there have been 300 gun-related violence deaths in schools?
From June to 1999 to July of 2006, 161 students have suffered from school-related shootings.
Virginia Tech, 32 people killed.
I think the deterrent effect would be substantially higher than the effect of the teacher ever even using the gun.
Columbine, 13 people killed.
There are around 300 million guns in the United States.
Up until the Newton Horde, the 3 worst school shootings ever took place in either Germany or Great Britain.
Sandy Hook Elementary School, 26 people killed.
Students with ages ranging from 5 to 18 have suffered from 17 school-related homicides in the 2009 to 2010 school year.
Chardon High School, 3 people killed.
States that allow law-abiding citizens to carry concealed weapons enjoy a 60% decrease in multiple victim public shootings and a 78% decrease in victims per attack.
Stricter gun control laws would require that anyone who owns a gun have to go through a full background check and would prevent any teachers from having guns in schools. Can I see a show of hands for who is for stricter gun control laws?
Alright class, for today's lesson we will be discussing some good debate strategies.
Why would a female kindergarten teacher need these 3 weapons in her home, one of them being a semi-automatic Bushmaster, allowing for her clearly deranged son to commit this atrocity?
Whatever that gun looks like, it's a semi-automatic rifle. Do you even know what that is?
Of course I know. A semi-automatic rifle is a gun that fires off a single round each time the trigger is pulled.
So you also know that a hunting rifle is a semi-automatic rifle. Just because it looks different on the outside doesn't mean it has a different
But
function.
he fired off over 100 rounds in a few minutes with his apparently harmless assault rifle.
Nobody said guns were harmless. Guns make it
You
easier.
just tried to make it sound like he used any old gun. He fired off over 100 rounds and killed 20 children. 20 children! At what point do you gun lobbyists say, we get it? It's time for change.
It is time.
Time for what?
Time to get rid of some of these gun laws.
Yeah, which gun laws?
Those banning guns, the gun-free zones. Look what's happened. Every attack this year has occurred in places where guns are banned.
Oh, okay. So you think we should have more guns in schools, right?
Well, I think those of us licensed to carry shouldn't be prohibited from carrying guns in schools or other places.
Yeah, why on earth would you want more guns in schools? After what happened at Sandy Hook recently?
Here's why. If we could suddenly make all guns disappear, I'd have a different opinion.
I bet you would.
But the simple facts are, guns exist, they're easy to make, they're not going anywhere. So, to stop an evil person like the one at Sandy Hook, we need to shoot him or he shoots himself.
You know, this is total hogwash. If anyone at that school or in the movie theater had a gun, it would have been total mayhem.
It's not hogwash. Give me an example of when an armed person went in to stop one of these dilemmas and hit a bystander. You can't do it.
Can I now see, after watching this debate, can I now see a show of hands for who is against stricter gun control laws?
Gunshots started firing. Without thinking, I headed to the bathroom within our classroom, to get the students as far away from the door as I could. I just knew I had to get them in there. I kept telling them, it's going to be okay, everything's going to be alright. I told them to be quiet and turned off the lights. One student said, it's okay, I know karate, I'll lead the way out. Then another said, I just want to go home for Christmas. Finally, a little girl said, I just want to hug my mom. It was heartbreaking. I'm thinking, we are the first classroom. Why isn't he coming in here? I'm thinking, we're next. So I think of these 6-year-olds, and I tell them, I need you all to know I love you very much, because I was afraid that was the last thing they were ever going to hear. I was afraid we were all going to die. I don't know if that was my place as a teacher, but I figured if that was the last thing they were going to hear, they needed to know someone loved them. And that should be what they were thinking about, not the gunshots in the hallway.
I will never know why. I will never know why. I will never know why I was nearly insane with sorrow. Much of the time, I felt I could not breathe, and I often just wished that I would die. I perceived myself to be a victim, but by most of the community, I was this person who had raised a monster. I can never explain or excuse what he did. I've tried to identify some pivotal moment in his upbringing, something that could account for his anger. Was I too strict? Not strict enough? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I concluded that he must not have loved me, because love would have stopped him from doing what he did. For the rest of my life, I will be haunted by the horror and anguish Dylan caused. Dylan changed everything I believe about myself, about life, about family, about God. I will never know why. I will never know why. I will never know why.
I still wonder what when he looked into my eyes and pointed that gun at me, what was going through his mind? Does he remember what I looked like? Will he remember the sounds I made as the bullet exited his gun and entered my chest? I'll never forget the look in his eyes. The emptiness where his soul should have been. Empty. Empty like the cup of coffee I had that morning. I didn't even say goodbye to my mom before I left. I wasn't ready. And now I'll never get the chance to be. So empty compared to the fullness my poor family felt. Empty. My bladder wasn't empty. I had a venti caramel macchiato and I had to fucking pee. My last thoughts before dying were about a toilet. And because of that animal, who shoots someone without giving them the chance to speak, to stop them? I was an amazing debater. I could have stopped him. I could have convinced him to put that gun down if he'd just given me a few seconds. If he'd just given me a few seconds, I could have been empty. I wish the chamber had been empty. Hey, Teach. Can I go to the restroom? I had way too much coffee this morning.
I don't know, can you?
Yes.